Broadcasting live from the EBSN online studios in Columbus, Ohio. It's Silver and Blue Nation, the voice of diehard Dallas Cowboy fans. Now, here are your hosts, Big Game James and Producer G.
What up, what up, what up? Silver and Blue Nation here.
What's going on, everybody? Producer G over here.
You know how we do. You know, we back for another weekend of fun-filled Cowboys talking. We got some we're in the news again type stuff. So we definitely going to address that at the beginning. But let me give shout-outs to who's already in here. Dana, what's up? Always, Zachary, Ryan. Yeah, you know, G going to have the good topics. You know, we're going to be talking about latest and the greatest things. Stephen Arthur, Val Gutierrez, Justin Meyer, Dustin Merriman, Annette. Anybody who's over there on EBSN, jump on over here on Silver and Blue Nation so we can jump in these comments. We're going to be a lot about y'all today. You know, we got the the topics, but we're going to have a lot about y'all. Y'all got questions, we talk.
Also, if you're over on Phantom or Law Nation or the Dallas Prospect Facebook live video, make sure you jump over on here to the Silver and Blue Nation Facebook page. That's where we'll be watching the comments today. And let me just thank anyone who does tune in with us today. And if you don't get a chance to and you want to rewatch the show, you can rewatch it right where you're watching now, or you can jump on iTunes and Google Play and SoundCloud later on and listen as well.
Make sure you do.
Yeah, and if you're in Law Nation's YouTube watching as well, make sure you jump over to Silver and Blue Nation's YouTube as well and watch us there. We'll be monitoring all those comments. So lots to get into today. Obviously, there was some breaking news a couple days ago with one of our wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Terrence Williams was arrested.
Right. You got the picture. Look at it. Don't he look sad as hell?
Public intoxication.
He knew he messed up. Ain't that a picture a picture of he knew he messed up?
He smashed.
Well, I don't think he even just smashed. I think he like, man, I knew I shouldn't. Man, they're going to be on me all day. They're going to be talking so much trash about me. Because, I mean, he a sensitive dude as far as with them comments because he jumps on his Twitter a lot. And he gets sensitive with them comments. And he's like, laugh now, cry later type stuff on the Twitter. I think it was like beginning of the year. He's like, he's going to have the last laugh. And then you have something like this happen where he's saying, you know, the initial report is like he crashed into a pole, and now he's saying he didn't hit no pole. He swerved and hit a curve and smashed the car, couldn't drive, jump on the scooter, and somebody arrested him for public intoxication. It's just kind of crazy, man. Just kind of weird.
Yeah, and especially because he had been, you talking about him posting on social media, he had been saying things like, I'm going to show you guys.
I'm going to show everybody. He had the videos where he's catching with his hands with the trash cans. I posted it. You know, I want to give him a little bit of love, you know what I'm saying, trying to get him right. But, you know, the odds are against him. But I don't know if they still cut him. I don't know if they still do. I mean, it don't really matter if we cut him or not. Like, if they cut him.
It does, though, a little bit. Because there's $5 million on the line.
Yeah, but it's dead money, though. If they cut him, it's like not going to kill us if they do, because we already got $21 million.
Well, it doesn't free up nothing with the cap this year.
Right. It doesn't really do anything if you keep him or if you cut him. That's what I'm saying. Either way, it don't really matter if you do it. The people are going to say,
if you keep him, you get a player out of that money that you got to spend.
That's what I'm saying.
But if you don't, then you get nothing. You still got to spend that money.
Who's really coming after Terrence Williams, especially after a broke foot?
I'm just disappointed, man, because this was his opportunity to step in and be that number one if he ever was to have that chance. Like, this was it. With Dez being gone now, like, he was going to be maybe that guy. But,
no, he wasn't.
I mean, you don't know.
Yeah, I do.
He had the opportunity.
And he had opportunities before and he failed. I'm just
saying he had the opportunity. I'm saying he could have, he had the chance to where he could be that guy.
Nope.
But obviously that ain't gonna happen now. He's gonna be suspended, most likely.
You think so?
I think so. And this will open up
because of the public intoxication.
That and getting into a wreck, and
we've seen other things happen, and other people aren't getting suspended yet.
Like what?
I'm thinking like what? Well, I guess you got to actually. This is actually you're actually getting a ticket for this, so you probably are gonna get in trouble because you're actually went to jail.
I mean, you were arrested. You were drunk in public. You are violating the personal conduct policy for the NFL.
Probably 2 games.
But, 2 to 4 games is what I would think.
2 games.
But that'll be an opportunity, though, for one of these younger guys to step in. Maybe Michael Gallup can step into that role.
There's a lot of guys.
That number one.
KD Cannon, everybody's been talking about him.
Who's going to be the number one? Allen Hurns?
We don't know that. We're all speculating, but nobody knows who's going to be the number one. You want ultimately, I think we want Michael Gallup to be our number one. I know we got him in the 3rd round, but he had very high marks in the draft and from across the board, from scouts across the board. So ultimately, I'm sure you probably want him to be your number one. Allen Hurns, he's not really a number one guy. He's not. he went undrafted for a reason. He's a good player, but he's not a number one receiver. I don't think he is. So you want Gallup to be that number one guy. Starting out, we'll see, because to me, it's the great unknown with the offense. Only thing we have known on the offense right now is our offensive line and Ezekiel Elliott. Other than that, tight ends, receivers, even Dak Prescott, still an unknown.
There's a lot of depth there, though, so that's something to be happy about.
What up, Ron?
Let's go ahead and give a few shout-outs. Everybody who's been jumping in since we started here. Val Gutierrez, Justin, my guy's in there. He made a comment. I'll get to that in a second. Dustin Merriman, Diego, Terry Turner, Dana Brining, everybody who's tuned in. We appreciate it. Zachary Ryan, make sure you guys give us a like and a share into your favorite Facebook groups. If you're watching on YouTube, I want to get to you guys in just a second. Justin Myers said, of all the receivers we got rid of and brought in, how did Terrence Williams, the one that still stay? I don't know. I mean,
they love him. That's why. I mean,
Dez was making so much money, he had to go.
Well, and not just that, they love him in the organization, man. I keep trying to tell you. Like I met his family at the Atlanta game when I met his mom. His mom is a really nice lady. His family really supportive, and they really like him within the building. And you know, with the Cowboys, if they like you, you're going to be on the team no matter what. That's been known throughout. If the Cowboys favor you, you're not getting cut. That's just not.
Jerry Jones takes care of his guys.
He takes care of him. They obviously seem to like him because he's one of the guys that they don't get rid of. So I don't know if this does it, but, you know, to go – I hear people saying that, well, if you cut him, it's going to suit an example. I don't really think so, because who is Terrence Williams for you to be scared of because you cut Terrence Williams? If you cut like getting rid of Dez Bryant, that has more holding weight to me than cutting Terrence Williams. Not saying that we should just keep him, but that's another veteran player that's going to be gone, and we have another unknown. I mean, we got a bunch of unknowns. The only guy would be Beasley. Really?
Terry Turner says he's not that guy. What's up, Ron Smith? Thanks for tuning in always. JD Kersey, appreciate you. Stephen Arthur, he says we got enough wideouts. Do we really need T. Will? I mean, maybe not. It's going to be a battle. We do got Tavon Austin and some of these other guys that were brought in.
But Tavon Austin hasn't really did anything. So people need to understand that.
Right.
People need to understand we can't just –
He's been a bust.
It's because he's – done this, and I'm not saying it's right what he's done, but people just want to instantly cut a player. You can't do that. You just can't cut a player just like that. You can't go on the emotion of, cut him because he's not doing anything anyway. Yeah, he's not the greatest, but he's been a decent number two receiver. Yes, we know he's a body catcher. Yes, we know he's messed up in some games, but who hasn't? The whole receiver core as a whole has dropped off, not just Terrence Williams. But for us to sit there and say, let's just cut him off because he had a public intoxication, I mean, come on, man. We need to look at the whole thing, because we don't know what we have in Deontay Thompson or Katie Cannon or,
Michael Prophet says it's Noah Brown's time to step up.
Yeah, but it's his time to step up, but he's still an unknown. Is this not correct? We're putting most of them are. We're putting a lot of weight into some guys that ain't did nothing.
I mean, I don't think any of them have had a 1,000-yard season.
Nobody has done nothing yet. So we're throwing a lot of confidence on some guys, and this is the NFL, folks. These teams and defenses are good. So if we don't have type of receivers that can make plays, we're going to suffer.
And we were talking about Tavon Austin, who's been kind of
he ain't did nothing.
He was a first-round pick,
and he's little.
Really hyped coming out of college, West Virginia, where he was a beast there. What's up, Katina? Thanks for tuning in on our Facebook Live. If anybody's watching on Facebook Live, make sure you jump on the Silver and Blue Nation page, because that's where we're looking at the comments. So no matter where you're at, Law Nation, Phantom Sports, Derek Dallas Prospect, Big Game James page, jump on over to the Silver and Blue Nation page. We'll see your comments in there, and we'll give you a shout-out. So we'll go ahead and segue this then right into Stephen Jones says Tavon Austin could get 24 touches a game.
That's a damn lie, and we know it.
That's crazy.
Why would you even say something like that? You know damn well Tavon Austin ain't getting no 24 freaking touches in the game when you have Ezekiel Elliott on the team. He's not. Stop hyping it. I mean, I'm excited that we have him, but just like you said, he's not done anything anywhere as far as and you had McVay, and he's an innovator, and he said, I don't need you no more. So they've tried to figure out ways to get him the ball and make him productive. He's had I remember those few games. I watched those games when against Indianapolis where he was killing them boys with them 3 catches, 3 touchdowns. Yeah. But he hasn't really done anything consistently. So to sit there and say that we're giving him 24 touches in a game, that's just really just dumb. That's not real, and you know it's not real. And let's just hope that when he does come in the game, we don't automatically do a jet sweep with him, because I'm gonna be pissed off. Like, come on, man, let's not make it obvious when he comes in the game and we automatically go right to him, because these defenses freaking know what they're not stupid. These guys get paid a lot of money. They know what the hell's going on. Be a little creative with them.
That's like what you saw with Ryan Switzer. Like, when you knew when he.
knew when he came in. When you do that damn jet sweep, he was happening. You knew when Lucky Whitehead came in the game, you knew it was happening. That's not good football. Let's be creative. Where, hey, put him in on first down. How about that? Then we don't know what you're doing. Don't put him in on it. You know what I'm saying, G?
Yeah. I mean, I really want to be excited about Tavon Austin, but I just know the Cowboys, they have never been able to use players the right way. I know he has a ton of potential, but I just don't have any faith that the Cowboys can use the guy the right way. Like,
we haven't shown we can.
Lance Dunbar, that's an example. If we had
Lucky Whitehead.
Yeah, exactly.
Ryan Switzer.
If we would have had Darren Sproles, we would have never used him.
We wouldn't have used him right.
Like, Sean Payton is a guy who knows how to do that.
Right, and that's the biggest issue. We think if we get these players, they're going to just do all these things that we're doing everywhere else. No, it's called coaching. That's why they have the coaches, and that's our biggest issue. We're doing good by those guys that we brought in, who I love, but at the end of the day, we still have the same offensive, defensive, and head coach at the helm. And if they don't step it up, we're going to just be the same potential team that looked good
always
on paper and never did crap.
Since we're talking about Stephen Jones saying that, and you and I were talking about coaches off the air, we can go ahead and transition into Jason Garrett then.
Yeah.
And has your patience run out with Jason Garrett? I'm asking everybody in the comments too. Leave us a comment. Has your patience worn out with Jason Garrett? Is this his last chance for you?
I mean, and I'm gonna tell you, I like I said, I don't want to sound like I beat a dead horse with Jason Garrett, but I'm just over it. Like, I told you from the all or nothing, everybody, people, you can look at a few ways with Jason Garrett. He was a guy that, he's a guy that's on it. He's a guy that, he's not a pushover. He does, he's getting that team together. Or you can look at it like, and they're just kind of maybe deflecting. And me personally, my patience is worn thin, because I love getting these players that we're bringing in, but it doesn't matter if we don't do anything. 8 full years? Is it full years?
Yeah.
7 seasons and an interim season. And yes, you have 2 NFC East championships, but what did we win? We won 1 playoff game, and that was by, I feel like, the luck. The football guys said, come on, we got to give Dallas one of them, because they're going to just beat them up again for losing in the playoffs, because you had that pass interference. If that Detroit would have got that pass interference, we weren't beating them. Okay, I don't care. Nobody tell me. And then even when we got the ball, we had 2 4th downs. Jason Witten had to get the first 4th down for us to get in position, and then Romo had to juke 15 people and then throw the ball to Terrence Williams, who scored a touchdown. We win the game, right? So it was by the skin of our chin. We didn't dominate anybody. And then we go back to the Dez Bryant. Yes, it could have been a catch, but we didn't stop Aaron Rodgers all damn game with a tore-up calf. He had 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Do we know that he couldn't have went right down and scored a field goal on us to beat us in Green Bay? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, Garrett is the coach to just make all the decisions to stop it. I haven't seen it yet. And so I've supported him for real. My sister would get on me. She would like, I don't like Jason Garrett. I can't stand him. I'm like, it's okay. I can bring her on the show. She see I backed him. But now I don't want to hear that crap no more. I don't want to hear it. I want victories. I want playoff victories. I want NFC championships, and I want a Super Bowl. And if this guy can't do it, because sometimes you can get a coach who's coached so long and his message is worn thin. You're going to work hard for him. You're going to do things for him, but his message is worn thin. I told you about the Tony Dungy thing. Great coach, but his message is worn thin. As soon as he left, what happens? Gruden comes in, gets the Super Bowl. I think this could happen maybe with Garrett, that he just built the team and he was good with that, but maybe you're just not – everybody ain't a head coach.
To Dungy's credit, though, he went and won a Super Bowl with the Colts.
He did, but everybody ain't a head coach. Just because you got put in a head coach position don't mean that you're a head coach. You know what I'm saying? You can put it. He's done good help putting a team together, but that don't mean you can just coach that team and get us to where we need to go. That don't mean that. And I haven't seen it. Where are we seeing that? Where's the confidence that you think Jason Garrett can take us to a Super Bowl? I want to have that confidence, but I don't. Where's it should show me anywhere? If, like I just told you off air, if they got rid of Jason Garrett right now, where are we going to sit there and say, oh, we fell off because Jason Garrett ain't our coach no more? Are you serious?
Yeah. So what happened with T.O.? T.O. made some comments.
I mean, you know, T.O. makes comments. I'm going to keep it real.
And, you know, he played with him.
He played with him. Be so honest, I didn't really go on the T.O. thing, his comments, because to me, he's disgruntled. And he's just a crybaby to me. T.O., you still 44 years old and you talking about give you a job. Man, just stop. T.O., you just get on my nerves with that. Just be quiet. So, but what he's saying probably was true with Garrett. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been the head coach, you're not winning. Why are you still there? And then he goes back to himself, like, you know how he did me with Witten. We understand that.
Yeah, he was bitter on that one.
He's bitter, and he got the bitter beer face. It's kind of like, let it go, T.O. You keep talking about it, just let it go, dog.
Just real quick, would you have any? He looks like he might be in shape to play football.
Man,
still.
Hell no.
I just want to ask.
No.
If you're watching in the comments, would you be interested in having Terrell Owens come back to the team? It's been like 10 years. Yes, let's give some shout-outs. Hulk Logan up in the comments on Facebook Live. We appreciate it. Anybody who's watching on Law Nation, Phantom Sports, or Big Game James, Dallas Prospect, make sure you come and join us on the Silver and Blue Nation feed. That's where we're looking at comments and giving shout-outs. Mama T's in there. Benjamin Jones. Man, there's
what's
so
up,
many
everybody?
People. Yes, what's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
Louis Villanueva. We got B-Rob over here on Law Nation's YouTube. He's talking about, or I'm sorry, our YouTube, Silver and Blue Nation YouTube. He said he's on the way to the house for this fire episode.
What's up, baby?
He said it's always fire.
Yeah.
Shout out for making it. Michael Bullock, he has a question. He says, let's talk about why Crawford needs to be cut, because we have the – and actually, I'm going to save that, Michael. So if you're watching – tune in. Make sure you stay tuned in. We're going to be here for about another 30 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm. What up, Jock?
We will get to some potentially surprising cuts for the team. So let's just keep it moving in with the topics right now. And you want to give us the latest with Randy Gregory? I know he maybe applied for.
I think he applied. He applied for the reinstatement Thursday. It was supposed to be Tuesday. He did it Thursday, and I really think he's going to get it. Why wouldn't he get it? I mean, they said he hasn't failed a drug test
from what we know.
From what we know since 2016. He's got mad people backing him. Chris Carter back. When you got those type of people in your corner, why would Goodell say no? And you haven't been smoking. Like, what would be the point? Isn't the whole point of this to get guys back in, you know, being success stories and not failures? Wouldn't you be a failure if you said no, you're not reinstated, especially if he's done everything and everybody's behind him? So yeah. I think he's getting reinstated. My thing is now, let's bring him along slowly. You know, because he hasn't played football in, 2 years? Like, for real football. But let's bring him along slowly. And I think that talent doesn't go away. Still young, 25 years old. And I'm excited. I ain't going to lie. I'm excited. I think that guy's the man. I felt like when we drafted him, we drafted him to be the man. And I feel like that talent just doesn't go away. And let's just bring him along slowly and let's watch him work.
Yeah, there was a video that you had posted throughout the week of him doing some kind of drill, but he looked really explosive in
yes,
that video.
He did. Now
that got me excited.
I mean, did you see it?
That one got me excited.
And then, you know, I think it was even 2016 when he played the season finale when he had the 8 tackles and the 1 sack on Carson Wentz. That was Thomas that he was going against. So that was no chopped liver tackle that he was going against. And you could just see his explosion, the bend. That's what everybody talks about with defensive ends. With DeMarcus Lawrence, he doesn't have that bend. He's bulky. He's kind of, you know, muscle bound. Where Randy Gregory has that natural bend. When he can get up that hand placement and get up underneath you, he has that bend when he can. Ooh, it's just that's what you want, G. That bend. When you see that guy with that bend and he's get low and he's 6'6", not lose his speed, man. I'm trying to tell you, dog. If this guy. If he just keeps his mind right, man, Randy Gregory, you could be a success story like no other and shock the world. Shock the world, dog. Shock the world with the Cowboys. Shock the world.
Well, let's keep talking about defensive line since we seem to have drama all across the line. We got David Irving. What's the latest with that on this little domestic violence thing?
I told you, you know, we ain't going to stay on it long because you know you got your thought about yours and I have my thought about it, but I think she just a faker. She had the videos, you know. Here's my thing. If the courts say you get custody, then guess what? That tells me everything because, you know, I got kids and the courts usually always side with the woman. That's just the truth. I don't care what anybody tells me. They naturally will. The father has to really prove. And if the courts are saying you're an unfit mom, you go down and get your kid, that tells me that David Irvin is trying to do the right thing, and he had been in a relationship. She goes right on social media like clockwork, like, not saying they do, but like clockwork, posting videos of her getting beat up, and we find out that you was a aspiring MMA fighter. Okay, so you're talking about you posting these pictures and you fighting, and then now you're trying to play it on him. That's just whack and lame. And you just, I feel like, and just not to jump on a side subject, but Reuben Foster. I was thinking that shit, he did that stuff just because of the accusations. I'm tired of it. And then you come back and lied for money. There should be some kind of something happening to some of the ladies. I know guys do wrong with the domestic violence, but there should be some kind of recourse for these ladies that make these charges and they're false. And you're putting guys, I mean, when you get that reputation, it's a hard reputation to get away from.
I think I'd agree with that.
So,
So let's go ahead then and move on.
but he's good so far.
We'll stay on the defense here. Jalen Smith's not wearing a brace on his knee anymore. He says he might not need one the whole season, right?
Hell yeah, and that's a beautiful thing. The video, they had the video posted. I was going to post on mine, but hella people posted ahead of time, so I didn't do it. I know you saw it.
What was he doing?
He was just doing his, linebacker drills back and forth, but, he had the AFO brace the whole time last year doing that. And, he looks good. He looked fluid. He looked, the thing that I'm happy is you're not using that brace. You're coming all the way back from that. Let's see what we were all been waiting for when we drafted you. Well, in that first, in that second round, when you should have really been a first rounder. So I feel like that explosion is coming back. It's another year under his belt, another year with Sean Lee. And if the Van Der Esch kid can really turn out to be something, we got a good starting linebacking core. I like it.
Yeah, who was the other linebacker? Covington or something?
Covington. We got Covington from Indiana. We got the guy, Joe Thomas from Green Bay. And, he was active, like I said, 2016. He had 70 tackles. Green Bay has good defense, and they always got pretty decent linebackers. Green Bay always has pretty decent linebackers. I wish we could have kept the J-Ron Elliott kid. I think he could have kind of maybe did something for us. But I think one of the guys who has to worry about being cut is Damian Wilson, because he was a guy that we had hopes for, Cowboys had hopes for, and he just hasn't did anything. And he ain't showed nothing, and I wrote an article and pissed me off. I wrote that article hyping him, and he didn't did jack poo. So he could be a threat of not even being on the team. The only reason why I could see him making it is if he has an outstanding camping for depth. Other than that, I can see him being cut as well.
Zachary Ryan has a comment here on our Facebook Live. He said, Big Game James, I asked you and JK during training camp last year if you thought they would use Jalen Smith in a pass rushing package. From what I'm hearing, they will be doing that this season.
Yes, they were. And, for real, Ryan, we was all saying that over here. We were saying, last year, weren't we, G? The number one, not have expectations for him.
Right.
Bring him along slowly and put him in rush packages. We were saying that at the beginning of last year because you don't know what you have, but if you just put him in on a third down and rush him, because he has a straight line speed, he doesn't have to worry about jumping back and forth. He has to worry about, that was his issue, the lateral movement and the back and forth with his foot. So if you can just send him on a rush package where you saw him in the San Francisco game where he got that big sack where they sent him straight up the middle and you saw the explosion. And toward the end of the year, I'm telling you, that Philadelphia game when he exploded in that backfield and got that running back in the backfield and slammed him down, I was like, yes. That's the Jalen Smith that we want to see. And if he can continue to do that, he is going to make moves. He's slept on right now, I think, because of that injury. And I think people kind of held it over his head. But he comes in, he could be a 100-tackle guy. I mean, he had it at Notre Dame.
Yeah, I told you my thought. I'm just a little bit concerned about the mental part of it, but we'll have to see when he's on the field. I mean, that's the only way we're really going to see it.
Yeah.
Let me give a couple shout-outs. Jonathan Cook over here on our Silver and Blue Nation YouTube channel. Derek Wiggins, Mike Mardo, Stevie Mac 23, the real Bishop Kane. Appreciate everybody tuning in over there.
Yeah.
And then again over here on our Facebook Live as well.
What's
Floyd
up?
Hope Jr.'s in there with us. We appreciate you tuning in every week. Jop Young, what's going on?
He's asking, are we going to Oxnard? I am definitely
Michael
trying.
McDade. Yeah, you know what? I might because my sister is living in San Diego.
Oh,
and that's only maybe a 3-hour ride from there.
And I got a homeboy that lives in San Diego, so we're going.
We could go.
No, we're not. We're going.
I'll go stay at my sister's. We get a free lodging.
I'm staying with you too. I can stay at my homeboy. I can just go visit him because I think he's in San Diego too. So yeah, Jop, I'm glad you brought it up. Yep, we're going.
I think I'll be there because
Ain't no I think he going.
I was already planning on going back late July and sometime in early August. So
we
that's
going
right around training camp. So
we going.
I think I might be there.
We going.
I think we might go. Silver and
We
Blue Nation
going.
in San Diego.
We going.
There's probably a lot of Cowboys fans there.
Hell yeah, Cali is where it's at.
Justin Meyer said he's going too.
Oh, there you go, Justin. Let's make sure we link up and kick it.
Everybody's going to San Diego. Why not?
Let's go. Everybody who can go to San Diego, let's all go.
All right, let's move on a little bit on another topic because we're running out a little bit of time here.
All right, yeah, we're on time frame.
About 20 minutes or so left here.
Yes.
There was something going on with Cole Beasley and the Undisputed team, the Undisputed show on FX.
Right.
Are you frustrated with any kind of thing that's going on with this, with Cole Beasley rapping? And
no, I mean,
is there any frustration there? Because we're pretty frustrated with, I would say, with Rico Gathers.
I feel okay. Here's the difference because I feel like how people are bringing it up. Here's the difference. Now I heard what Cole Beasley said. He said he made them tracks 2016 way before the season. He balled out that season, so he's basically saying, "While y'all talking all that trash, like I'm making these records now,
right.
I did this in 2016 and I wrote all that stuff
didn't know
in,
that, yeah.
and they didn't know that, and I blew up. So what y'all can't correlate that. So you can't say that affected my career."
Do you have a problem with his comment that he said he's a rapper first, then a football player? And I wonder if that has anything to do with, because if you remember when he first came,
he quit. But see, that's what I said though.
It was Cole Beasley and Danny Cole, I think, was the other guy's name.
Jeff said 3 times plywood.
You remember that?
He said 3 times plywood.
You remember Danny Cole?
Yeah, I remember Danny Cole.
Virginia
broke
Tech.
Foot. Yeah, he broke the foot.
So it was him and Cole Beasley were the two guys that year kind of battling it out. Cole Beasley stuck around and won it, but he did leave for a little bit.
He quit. And we begged him back. I don't know. Why did we beg him back?
I wonder if he was rapping then and he thought he was going to go be a rapper first.
And maybe his career didn't blow up and he needed cash.
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe he think he needed cash. I need cash to fund
how blessed are you? You have those options. You can either rap or play football.
But you can play football to fund your rap career.
Right.
Whereas you couldn't if you didn't play football.
You got to have that.
So maybe he was thinking like that. So, hey, I already told y'all about Beasley. I already told you to trade his ass, trade his butt last year.
You can say ass.
I can say ass? Okay, thank you. Well, trade his ass last year. You feel me? Because I told you, he's 29 years old. His last year's deal, you ain't re-signing him, so what the hell you keeping him for? You should have got a draft pick for him and then drafted somebody else to take his spot because at the end of the day, yeah, Cole Beasley, he got something to offer. He got the little shakes and can catch the ball, but you ain't really scared of no Cole Beasley. I heard a few people in the NFL, some guys said they were covering like he's really sweet. Yeah, but Cole Beasley, okay, just get something for him and let's keep it moving. Let's get some bigger guys and let's keep it moving because you got Deontay Thompson is bigger than him and he plays in the slot and faster, so really?
You think he'd be better than Cole Beasley?
You don't know. I mean,
don't know.
You don't know.
So are you more frustrated, though, with Rico than you are with Cole?
I'm frustrated more with Rico because Rico, number one, ain't been playing football. See, Rico never played football. Cole Beasley went to SMU and played receiver. He played for 4 years of college, and he played in high school. Rico Gathers ain't played since 8th grade. So your curve is a lot bigger than everybody else's. So you ain't got time to be sitting on your butt. I'm not saying you sit on your butt. You ain't got time to be making records all the time, dog. You got to be in that on that field training. And what frustrated with me was the year before, we was all on Rico Gathers because he was working hard. Jason Witten, we were all talking about Rico Gathers is training. And then Kayvon Frazier came and smacked you.
His preseason was monstrous.
And Kayvon Frazier smacked him. And that's how it all. Have you noticed it changed since then, dog? Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Since Kayvon Frazier smacked him, you ain't seen him talking about this football, that football. All you seen about him is talking about making records.
I mean, when it comes to that, I've said this before. I think maybe with that situation, him taking a hit and being out like that, and now he seemed kind of scared or something. Like, I just don't think he knows.
JK said it. I'm gonna give him the love. JK said it.
He don't know how to take a football hit. What'd JK say?
That's what he was saying. You know, when it first happened, he was like, I think the football got knocked out of him. I was like, yeah, I feel you because it's he just went from all football to nothing right after that hit. You never heard nothing about him. You didn't hear about him on football. And think about it. Ever since he got hit, you didn't hear about him all year, right?
Yeah.
Then when you hear about him this year, do you hear about him training? No, you hear about him making records.
Well, when he first got hit, I thought that he was only originally supposed to be out like 8 or 9 weeks, and then it was never ready.
What concussion have you seen that long?
Yeah, I know. That's what I said, though. I just don't think he knows how to take a hit because you got to know how to get hit. You got to know how to put your body in a position when you go to take a hit. That's why when dudes get blindsided, that's when they get smashed because they weren't prepared to take that hit.
Right. So my thing is, it doesn't matter. See, people just think you can just come in the NFL because you're 6'7", 290 pounds. There's plenty of 6'7" guys and 290-pound guys in the NFL. This is the best of the best. So Rico has to really take this serious because just because you have that size don't mean you're going to make it in the NFL. People saying, oh, we cut him, he go somewhere else. Where? He ain't played no football. Where you think he's just going to go and just go to another team and start? He's not played any freaking football. This is his year. He has to prove something. Yes, we want him on the field because he's so damn dynamic and what he can do. But Rico Gathers has to really say, I need to play some football because if you like them records, make this money in this football and then fund them records like Cole Beasley is doing. How about doing something like that? Because Cole Beasley had a good year. So worry about making fun of them records then with your contracts and get on this damn field and produce because you don't teach that size. But at the end of the day, if you ain't producing, they're going to cut you. That's my surprise cut anyway. I don't want him gone, but I think he might surprisingly get cut if he doesn't show anything. Rico Gathers, he was my offensive surprise cut.
I want to take a second and just thank everybody who's been tuning in with us, whether it's on Silver and Blue Nation or Law Nation YouTube channel or the Silver Blue Nation, Law Nation, Big Game James, Dallas Prospect, Phantom Sports Facebook pages. We appreciate that. Come jump in on the Silver and Blue Nation page so we can see your comments and give you shout-outs. And just thanks. We really appreciate everybody who's tuning in for this podcast. And if you missed it, you can go back and watch the video after this when we're done, or you can go and find us on Google Play and iTunes or SoundCloud. Everybody has a Droid or an iPhone, so it shouldn't be that hard to do that.
Yeah.
So go leave us a page rating as well.
You know what it is.
Let us know how you think we're doing on the show. And
5s.
And comment with us. Let us know what you think we need to add or something like that to the show so we can get some feedback. We appreciate that.
We won't get butthurt.
So I'm just going to kind of just move on through some more of these topics from throughout the week.
All right, big dog.
Jason Witten says Dez Bryant should land with the Packers. That's where he said that's where he thinks he'll end up going, right?
I mean, that's where he thinks he can end up going, but what are the Packers going to pay him? That's what I want to know. What kind of contract are they going to give him? Would Dez Bryant be good with the Packers? Yes, because of Aaron Rodgers. That's why. That's why Dez Bryant's going to be good. As I said before, Dez Bryant don't scare me. I ain't hating on you, Dez, but he don't scare me that he was with the Packers and we played them. I wouldn't sit there and have my corners like being scared of Dez Bryant. I'm just not. He's still a good player, but just not. So at the end of the day, if he does go over to the Packers, great for Dez Bryant, but I'm not going to be scared of Dez Bryant being with the Packers, but he needs to go with a team like that. And to me, that's real because we said before, he can't go to a Blake Bortles. He can't go to an Andy Dalton. He ain't going to one of those or even a Marcus Mariota. He ain't going there. He needs to go to a Drew Brees or Aaron Rodgers to succeed right now in his career.
From what I understand, he hasn't even been offered anything else from any other teams aside from that Baltimore contract that he turned down. So he might end up regretting not taking that.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, but you know what it is in football. Too many people get injured and hurt.
And
go ahead.
I was just going to say I also had heard that Janoris Jenkins was lobbying to get him in with the Giants, which I don't understand that because he's the guy always making fun of him for only being able to run 2 or 3 routes.
They always do that, though. They'll talk about you, and then when you cut, they're going to always like, yeah, come on with us. Maybe they say it for a PR, or maybe they just say it to say it, but maybe they really want him over there. But I've said that to people. I said it against players like, yeah, you suck, but if you're available to come play on my team, yeah, come over play on my team. That's normal.
Is there no chance at all that Dez Bryant comes back to Dallas?
I don't think he comes back to Dallas. Why would he come back? The reason why we got rid of him, it wasn't production. People say that production thing, it was because of the outside. I think it was the outside stuff.
It wasn't about the money.
I think it was the money, and I think it was the outside. I feel like they wanted this to be Dak's team, and Dez had to go because of that.
Well, it couldn't have been about money if they were willing to give Sammy Watkins $14 or $15 million per
exactly.
season.
It was because of the attitude, and they wanted Dak to be his team. And Dez couldn't be there, so Dez had to go.
Willie Anderson has been helping out with the offensive line. You love that.
Oh, I love Willie Anderson. I love Willie Anderson as a player. Even when Cincinnati sucked, he was always a rock on the team. He was nasty, technical, Pro Bowls, All-Pro. I love just his teaching. I like listening to him even when he was a player. So for number one, Paul Alexander, bringing him over here, and he's had some good guys. Whitworth, he's had some good offensive linemen. I can't remember all, but he's had some nice guys over there. Willie Anderson is really a technical guy and really going to break down the fundamentals, and that's what I think we really need. And maybe if we can get him on the staff some kind of way, but him and Colombo working together. Colombo was a good offensive lineman for us. I think you're going to get La'el Collins together. I think Connor Williams is going to really soak that up, and I just really feel like he can get the other guys like our swing tackle Fleming and Martin and those other guys. And maybe I don't know what happens with Chaz Green. I don't know if he will make the team, but if he does, I feel like his teaching can help step a guy's game up. And somebody else who's looking real damn good is Tyron Smith, man. That dude is just built like a freaking – he's not built like offensive lineman. He don't look like one.
Videos.
He don't look like one. He looked like he's healthy. He was doing his moves. Man, we get a healthy Tyron Smith. That's just going to get our line running. And please sign Zach Martin to his contract. He said he feels better with the plan, with the guys, but obviously it's weighing on his mind. Sign this man to his money.
All right, let's move on from that to we'll kind of get back into some of the draft.
Law said he wants to call in.
Law wants to call in?
Yeah, he said he's about to call in.
Get
Call
Law on
in,
the
Law.
phone. Law, give me a minute. Give me just a minute, Law. We'll get you in here. Who could be the sleeper in this year's draft? I guess Dak Prescott was back a couple years ago. Last year, I guess you could – who would you say might have been last season? But
last year my sleeper was Jordan Lewis.
I was going to say maybe Lewis, but he was still kind of a higher pick, so I don't know how much of a sleeper that is. But
where'd he go, third round?
Yeah. When I think sleeper, I think fourth, fifth, sixth round.
Yeah.
The third day picks.
Mm-hmm.
So who you think that could be out of this year's crop?
Our sleeper pick, well, going through all our picks, who's going to be a sleeper? I'm going to go with the lower rounds. If I'm going to say somebody's going to be a sleeper with the lower rounds, I'm going to say Mike White.
Mike White.
Quarterback, fifth rounder. I believe we drafted him for a reason. Like I said, he was a good player. He actually was playing at Division I schools and just kind of didn't work out. He was with Tulane, I believe, and didn't work out. He's a big kid, 6'5", 230 pounds, had a great year at Western Kentucky, threw for 3,700 yards, I believe, 36 touchdowns, only 8 picks. I'm telling you, he looked really good in that Senior Bowl against top competition. And I feel like he's really going to push Cooper Rush. I feel like he's going to push himself on that roster, and we're going to keep him. We're not going to lose him. I feel like they're really looking at him for something. And I feel like he's pro-ready, not ready to step right in and start, but he's a pro-ready type quarterback. I think that. So I think he's my pick, Mike White. He's my sleeper pick.
I like Scarborough, the running back from Alabama. I know he's not going to get a ton of opportunities with Zeke being in there.
Mm-hmm. Who's y'all sleeper pick, y'all? Jump in here and do that.
Yeah, leave it down in the comments.
Leave in them comments. Who's y'all sleeper pick up in here?
You never know what could happen with Zeke. Up to this point in his career, he was dependable his rookie year, but last year had to miss 6 games. So you just never know how dependable he may or may not be. Mm-hmm. We can just hope that he learned from that. But I do believe if Bo Scarborough's given that chance, he could come in and have a huge – I think he could be 1,000-yard back as a rookie playing with this offensive line. I really believe that. So for me, that's probably the best value in the draft that maybe of any team got. So I think he could be a huge sleeper, but I just don't know if he's going to get that chance this season. But in the long run, I think he definitely could be. Yeah. Hopefully we get that 1-2 punch rolling.
Hey, you know what? And I forgot about him. You guys are right. Hulk Logan and Dustin Merriman brought up Dorrance Armstrong. Yeah, I agree with y'all too. Dorrance Armstrong can be like the man on the team as far as because they're really looking at him. I think Coach Marinelli told him to look at Chris Dolman tape from Minnesota, who was a monster. But Dorrance Armstrong, I agree with you guys that he is definitely a sleeper pick, and I think he's definitely going to surprise. I feel like they have really high hopes for him.
A lot of guys got potential to be sleeper in this draft. I kind of like that Boise
State
wide receiver too.
I like our draft. The more I just keep looking at our players we drafted, it was a good draft. We've had good drafts.
Who was your favorite one? Your favorite pick?
My favorite pick?
Who was your favorite pick in this draft?
I want to say Connor Williams, but I'm not because I'll be lying. I'm going to have to go with Vander Esch because we have a linebacker, and I know people are like, you didn't want him. I didn't want him that early. But I like the size. I like the attitude. I like the mindset. I like how I feel like I'm liking the pick now. He's growing on me every day because I'm looking at him, and I feel like he really is football. He's about football. I guess that's why I'm getting excited about him now, G, is because I really look at he's like about football. I feel like he wants to soak it up. I feel like he wants to be the best. And when you see him, he's a big dude. He really is a big guy. I didn't know he was that big, but when you seen him in the rookie, he's a big guy. And if he can really hone that down, Man, I'm excited about him. I cannot lie. I'm worried about that neck, but I am excited about him, and he's the guy I really want to succeed.
So you think he'll make the biggest impact this season?
I think he can. I do now. I was wrong.
My favorite pick is the receiver Gallup, because I really wanted a receiver bad, and he might not be the one that was number one for me, but I do know he was very skilled. Me and you attended the combine, so we got to see him in person, and he was very impressive that day. And just to see that change that I wanted so bad, that's my favorite pick for that reason, because I believe he's going to get on the field early and often, and hopefully him and Dak have some immediate chemistry, and that's going to be the key to success right there. So let's go ahead and jump on the phone line. We got our guy Law Nation in here with us. What's going on, Law?
Man, nothing but the rent, man. Everything's good, looking good, man, for this off season, man. I'm really excited for this team.
I feel you, Law. I'm excited for our team. I'm not excited for Jason Garrett. I hope he can step up and finally take us there. But I love with the players that we have. We do have the unknown with our tight ends and receiving core, and we do still have an unknown with our defense. We have a lot of pieces and parts that we can put together, and we got the coaching. But we got to actually just put it together now.
Yes, indeed. Everything is going to band together. Now, you said sleeper picks. I picked on when you were talking about that. If Mike White is a sleeper, then something catastrophic has happened to either Cooper Rush and also Dak Prescott. So maybe that's something that happened down the line. I'm not saying that I want that to happen, but what I really want to see to happen is the sleeper is Cedric Wilson. I think that if you can come into the inside, he's a guy that you can flex to the inside and also play on the outside. That would be a plus. I do like Michael Gallup. My starting wide receiving core would be Allen Hurns, Michael Gallup, and then you sprinkle in Cole Beasley, and you do the little wiggle plays with Austin.
Right.
That's our offense right there. Then we already know Ezekiel Elliott. He's going to touch the ball 25 to 30 times a game. We want to see that. It's everything that's going to be operating through this offensive line in Ezekiel Elliott. If we can maintain the field, we win in the games.
Hey, you just came in with some straight fire, like heat, like you came with, like you was throwing flame-ons. Remember we was talking about yo got fire, yo got flame. You came in with that right now. Yo got fire, yo got flame. I like it. Hey, I'm feeling you. The reason why I said Mike White, and I'm not saying I want him to start or anything like that. The reason why I said Mike White is because I just feel like he was a good pick for the value of the 5th round. I felt like he was a higher grade as far as a quarterback goes, and to get him value in the 5th round, because at the end of the day, we saw Cooper Rush, but that's still preseason. And that was still against a lot of 2nd and 3rd teamers. So we're jumping up and down about Cooper Rush, but we've seen players do good before against 3rd and 4th stringers, and then they play against them 1st stringers and look shell-shocked. So we got to slow them brakes about Cooper Rush. Yes, he looked good, but let me see him against some 1st teamers, and let me see go against their guys. Then I'll be a little more happy about some Cooper Rush.
Oh, yeah. I feel exactly what you're saying. And, hey, all this offseason we were talking about before the draft, we were talking about dogs, right?
Right, dogs.
We were talking about this team needs some dogs. I believe deep down in my heart, my soul, the depths of my knowledge, that I believe that Chris Richard is going to bring the dog out of these guys. I think that he's going to put Cheeto Bear on the line. I think that he's going to flex Byron Jones. We're going to finally get the value what we wanted out of Byron Jones now. Byron Jones is going to use that frame, that physical power they used against the tight end. I think that Byron Jones is going to lay the thunder on everybody out there. He's going to be the guy that's going to have a breakout season. Mark my freaking words.
I agree, but I've said before though, I think Chris Richard should be our next coach in waiting. I'm not trying to squeeze Garrett out there, but I think Chris Richard, I feel like he was prepping. He followed Pete Carroll a lot of ways, a lot of places. And now I just feel like you see how the demeanor is changing, even with our defense, the mindset. When you listen, we talked about it on Wednesday, his mindset, how he just gets everybody together. And that defense, you're right. Our secondary is going to be what we want it to be. It's going to be aggressive, what we've been clamoring for us to be, not going in the stick and prevent defense after we're beating a team up 2 touchdowns and letting them come back in the 4th quarter. Now we're cutting the head off the snake, and we're cutting it off early, because now we're going to have a guy who's going to sit there and say, we don't care what you do. We're not caring about what you do. We're going to do what we do. And that's the type of mentality that we need to have on our defense. And this is what Chris Richard is going to bring to the table, to the fold, and to the team organization.
Woo, make me want to hit somebody now, man.
I want to hit somebody too. Where's the helmet at?
Hey,
How about
Law,
them Cowboys?
I got a question for you, Law. What do you think about Stephen Jones talking about Tavon Austin getting 24 touches a game? You just mentioned Zeke getting a whole bunch of touches. How's that going to work out?
I think that he was speaking out of the side of his neck. He might have had too much of those. What's that drink that he drinking down?
He'd be drinking that whiskey though. That drink be light. So I know he'd be drinking some of that good.
But collectively, I think that he was talking about touch as far as punt return, kickoff returns, your reverse sweeps. Just him being out there in the backfield, out and play. I think that's what he's more alluding to. And I don't want him to give away all the secrets. The best thing that I want to see, too, if anybody got Photoshop skills, I want you guys to go ahead and craft this image of Dak Prescott. I want you guys to get a bus or a big, nice, clean bus and paint it silver and blue and put Dak Prescott in there. And all we want Dak Prescott to do is drive this bus onto the Super Bowl because he can do it. Don't worry about him passing 4,000, 5,000, 6 million yards down the field. All you want him to do is hand the ball off to Ezekiel Elliott, and when the team is up front and up press and they're trying to stop the run, he hit him with that play action. He can win that.
Do what Blake Bortles did. It worked with Blake Bortles, didn't it? I mean, we've seen it. It worked. If you have good coaching, it goes back. So you see what they do with Blake Bortles. Weren't they all saying Blake Bortles was a lost cause? Weren't they saying that just a year ago? He's a lost cause. We ain't going to do nothing with him. It's going to be his last year. Good coaching comes up, coaches him up, puts him in the position to succeed, doesn't take him out of what he doesn't do good and put him what he does do good. Rely on that running game, rely on that defense, and guess what? They was, one play away from possibly going to the Super Bowl, which they could have went, and nobody would have thought that with Blake Bortles being at the helm. So it's been proven if the coaching steps up and puts your quarterback in the right position, he can take you to that promised land. It's shown.
All right, real quick, before we wrap this show up, I got one more question for both you guys to hit, and then we can start to end this thing here because I know James got to get rolling. Who could be some surprise cuts during this offseason?
You first, Law.
You want me to go first, or you want?
Yeah, go ahead.
You go first, dog. I'll put you on the seat.
All right. I can tell you right now, it may be surprisingly that Cole Beasley is hearing the footsteps real loud, right? And then you also have a Rico Gathers. You know, if he don't step it up, if he don't step into the fray, he don't learn his playbook. Then Blake Jarwin, Schultz, and Swain is going to just ride off into the sunset with their positions. And I mean Tyrone Crawford. Although he have a C on his chest, somebody need to man up and snatch that C off his chest because somebody need to earn and learn this position to take over. Because this front four, they need to stop being finesse. I wanted a big, nasty dog out there. We'll see what these undrafted rookie free agents do. We'll see what Bryce do, whoever the Price guy mean. You know, we'll see what they can do, but somebody got to give, and I think it might be number 98.
Well, hey, we're going to see. Well,
I've been waiting on that one for a couple years.
I'm gonna give you my surprise cut. I told you my surprise cut is going to be Rico Gathers. I don't want it to happen. So if y'all thinking I'm praying for it, no. I just feel like it really could happen because just like you said, they really like the Blake Jarwin kid. He did look good last year before he got hurt. They really love that Schultz kid. I'm telling you, they love him. And they like what Swain brings to the table as far as that blocking. Rico has to step it up because he hasn't played any football, and this is his third year. He has to. Cole Beasley, I don't know if he gets cut. I would say we'd probably still try to trade him. It wouldn't surprise me that happens because, like I said, I feel like with him running his mouth on Twitter all like that, I feel like the Cowboys be watching that type of stuff. I just feel like they do, and I feel like they listen to that type of stuff. So if you run your mouth on Twitter, they kind of get rid of you, so kind of be careful. On the defensive side of the ball, I feel like Tyrone Crawford got the Boise State protection. You got the Boise State protection. And when you got that Boise State protection, it keeps you there. Ask Orlando Scandrick. Ask Kellen Moore. Ask them guys if they ain't got the Boise State shield. So I feel like the Boise State shield got him. See, look, I'm holding the shield right now. He's got the shield right now. It's protecting him. Bling, bling, bling from all the haters. So now I think Tapper and Damian Wilson might be the two guys. I don't know if they're surprises, but I think Tapper, if he doesn't show and prove, he's gone. And I feel like Damian Wilson, I know we need linebacker depth, but I feel like he could be cut too.
What about Anthony Brown?
No, I feel like Brown is safe.
Brown had coaching issues. I think that this coach is going to put Brown in the right spot. Brown still, believe it or not, he's a 4.3 guy. You know, he's fast and he's physical. I think that he had his sophomore year slump too as well. Give the guy a chance. and I think that he's going to step it up this year. Believe it or not, he still – how many interceptions he had? I know it was during garbage time and all this, but he still took the ball when he had it,
He had 2,
when he had a chance.
He could have had 3. He could have 4.
We needed those 2.
What's the biggest remaining question mark on this team right now? Real quick.
Oh, man, the biggest. And I don't know if you guys watch All or Nothing, but I'm in fear of the coaching staff making second half adjustments. It's always going to be in fear, nightmares. In big game, James, no, we still going to have the same desire and the feeling, or the same little scaredy cat feeling.
Yes.
Let's talk about
by 20, 30 points, and it's the second quarter, and the third quarter, going into the third quarter, we still in fear because we can't just say we're going to grab some beer at this point.
All right.
You know what I mean?
What's the biggest question mark with players, though?
Oh, man. Believe it or not, I want to see Dak Prescott.
Yeah. It's Dak.
I'm not, the gloves come off, baby.
It's Dak.
We're going to really, really dive into Dak Prescott. If he don't get his footwork together, if he's not going through his progressions better, even though I'm telling you guys, you put him in the bus as a bus driver, if he don't show any improvement from year 2 to year 3, man, I'm going to be in a world of trouble. This team going to be in a world of trouble, too, as well. But go ahead.
I mean, I agree with you on both statements. When G asked those questions, mine is the coaching staff. What's the biggest question mark is the coaching staff. Just like you said, the scary cat feeling. I don't care if you're a Cowboys. If you're lying to yourself, feeling like you feel confident, we have 2 touchdown leads that we're going to just ride off in the sunset and beat teams, you're lying to yourself. So I still have that feeling of, can we ever get over the hump? And just like you said, the player to me that is Dak Prescott. He has to do it this year, like for his money, for our team, for everything, for the haters, the critics, for everything. Dak Prescott has to do it this year. Nobody's asking you to, like you said, throw for 4,000 yards, but we have to see that you're the man this year. We have to see it. We have to fully know it. And then once we can feel that and know it, then we just move on and do what we do. But this is his year to show and prove because they did everything for him. They've made it friendly for him, quote unquote, the Dak friendly offense. They made it his team. Now he has to do it.
My biggest concern for as far as players go would be the safety position. I'm still not satisfied with what's happened in the offseason in that position. So I'm afraid to get burnt deep all the time.
They got a couple. Let me get a couple questions on here because a couple people been asking. I don't want to leave them hanging.
Well, let me give you this one last one, and then you can finish up with that because it's over.
All right.
On a quick note,
on
a quick note, Lewis Neal, linebacker. Now he's back to the defensive line. So that's a quick note. Notable undrafted free agent pickups. Is there anybody that could surprise you and make the team that we picked up as an undrafted free agent? That's for both of you, and that's all I got to say for the show.
All right. We all been talking about the safety position, the Robinson kid, Cameron Kelly, but I think the Kyle Curio, is that his name, Law?
Cairo, like baby.
Yeah, Cairo. I think because they're moving him to linebacker, getting him a little bit bigger. I think that's the surprise guy because if he can really transition that linebacker position, he can push Wilson and those other guys off. He's a guy the kid from Oklahoma State, big boy. I think he can make a difference. I need to figure out his name. You, Law?
Oh, man, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking that we need help off the Sam side on his linebacking core. You got a guy now that is explosive, got short area quickness, vicious hands, got nice instincts out there in the field. I'm talking about Cal Q. Now, if this skill set can translate to the NFL, it will be a dynamite plus for us. And like I said before, if we can just have Rob Marinelli to coach the front four and don't touch nothing else, let Chris coach the secondary and the linebacking core, we'll be okay with those guys. Now, as far as we have another guy, I don't think that anybody brought him up. His name is Malik Earl, I believe, a wide receiver that's undrafted, a physical receiver that catches the ball smoothly with his hands. I think that he's going to step it up too as well. So this offseason minicamp is going to be intriguing. What OTA start next week, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. This is when we have to put the bread and butter together. So I can't wait to see what the sandwich is going to look like. Maybe we add some jelly. Guys, when I start talking about food, I'm getting hungry, right? And I want this team to have a PhD mentality. Poor, hungry, and determined to make things happen. Hungry like me to get out there and starving for this Super Bowl because we need to get this thing going. And I think that this is going to be the team. This is going to be the draft.
There it is.
Appreciate you calling in, Law, taking the time to spend with us here, talking Cowboys. We definitely appreciate it.
Appreciate you, big dog. We'll see you.
No worries, man. And remember, you guys are listening to nothing but the best.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon.
I love it. And remember, nobody else has that.
Did you have a couple? You wanted to still get to a couple shout outs or comments?
Just a couple of shout outs. I think Dustin been going ham. You know how Dustin does. You know Dustin, right? Merriman, you know how he does. Yep. He been coming at me. This is just my last comment about the whole thing. I love y'all, but I gotta go. My last comment about it is Dak Prescott just got to do it. I feel like it's on Dak. We had the Earl Thomas thing. I feel like our defense is going to be okay because I feel like we're going to have good, solid coaching on that defensive side of the ball, and we were okay with what we had last year. So I feel like we're going to be okay. It's Dak Prescott. He's got to do it. If he does it and Jason Garrett somehow miraculously coaches his ass off, we can go. It's real simple. We have the pieces. Let's freaking do it.
All right, well, that'll wrap it up. And if we missed your comment or we didn't get you a shout-out, make sure you tune back in next week because we're here every single Sunday around this same time. So jump in on Law Nation's YouTube, Silver and Blue Nation's YouTube. Subscribe to us there, as well as our Facebook pages. Turn on your notifications and follow us there as well. Go over to Big Game James' page and give him a follow. And make sure you tune in every week. And like I said, if you missed it, you can watch it back from the beginning right here where you're watching now once we end it. Or you can always listen on iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud, which will be posted as soon as we're done here. So until next week, we appreciate everybody, and hopefully some good Cowboys news this week. Hopefully nobody else gets in trouble. Hopefully we find out something on Randy Gregory. We got positive vibes going into this OTAs, and everything will be good. So until then, that's Big Game James.
And that's the one and only Voltron producer G.
And the show ends like that.